The execution of Order 66, while effectively resulting in the destruction of the millennia-old Jedi Order, was never as complete as Emperor Palpatine or Darth Vader would have liked, or would have had most of the galaxy believe. While some very high-profile Jedi like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, and Ram Koda would survive and would even aid the rebellion in various ways in the following 25 years under the Empire, it was still not a very safe galaxy for the Jedi to live in. A lot of focus on Order 66 survivors goes to those like Kenobi and Yoda who were alive and active in the Rebellion era. Today we're going to be talking about two Old Republic Jedi who lasted longest into the new Jedi Order. The first of the two is everyone's favorite whip-in with a sweet hat, Jedi Master Kruk. Kruk's exact age at any point is never explicitly stated, but he was earliest seen active during an event known as the Angkori Uprising in the year 33 before the Battle of Yavin, or BBY, about 10 years before the Clone Wars. During the Clone Wars, he lost faith in the war effort and joined a conclave of other Jedi who felt similarly unsure of the war. What they didn't realize was that the leader of the conclave, a Jedi named Sora Bulk, had actually fallen to the dark side and was working with Count Dooku and Asajj Ventress to kill Mace Windu, who would come to negotiate the return of this conclave to the war effort. Ultimately, this plot was foiled and Kruk rejoined the war effort, determined to stomp out evil in the galaxy. Notably, he was part of a task force during the Clone Wars that included Plo Koon and Shaak Ti on Hypori, which was defeated by General Grievous in a lightsaber battle, and was shown in the 2003 Clone Wars cartoon. When the call for Order 66 came, Kruk was on Bogdan with a group of younglings and Jedi Masters Giselle and Dumon. Through the cooperation of the three Jedi Masters, including the sacrifice of Giselle and Dumon, Kruk was able to escape from the clones with the younglings. Their escape attempt did include two crashes, the second of which brought them to the planet of Arkinia, where with the help of the locals they re-established a presence in an old Jedi base. For many years, from 19 BBY, when Order 66 occurred, Kruk and the younglings remained safe there. At some point later, Kruk would join Luke's new Jedi Order. His first appearance after this point, with the 19 BBY hiding on Arkinia, is with Cade Skywalker, one of Luke Skywalker's descendants, in 137 ABY. Though considering he had a hand in Cade's training, it would have been at least decades earlier that Kruk had rejoined. We really have no clear picture of when it would have been that he joined, whether it was during the Yuuzhan Vong War, before, or after at some point between then and the Legacy era. At some point between at least 44 ABY and 137 ABY, Kruk's experience and influence had gained him a seat on the Jedi High Council. He remained in this position during the war with Darth Krayt's empire, and eventually after the death of Darth Krayt, Kruk became a member of a triumvirate who was leading the Galactic Alliance. The second Jedi we'll be talking about would also go on to be a High Council member alongside Kruk, the Neti Jedi Master Tirasah. And, like with Kruk, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing these names a little bit, but there's not really a great source on how exactly to pronounce them. Saw was one of the oldest members of the Jedi Order by its fall, even, having already lived for centuries. Decades before the Clone Wars, Saw had a hand in Mace Windu's training even, and had become the Watchkeeper of the Kifu sector. This meant that she was permanently stationed there, watching over the sector. In this position, she had replaced her friend and future love interest Thome, who had left intending to take Quinlan Vos as his Padawan. Saw's abilities as a commander, warrior, and healer were often used during the Clone Wars. During Order 66, Saw was on Nar Shaddaa with Thome and Colleen Hence, who was pregnant with the child of Jedi Knight Quinlan Vos. The three avoided execution and met up with Vos on Kashyyyk, where although only Tirasah is mentioned again, all four seem to survive the Empire. While the cause and even the rough date of Thome's death is unknown, he did seemingly peacefully die, and Tirasah eventually made her way to Luke's Jedi Order. Her first appearance there, much like Kruk, is serving on the Council at the same time as Kruk. During an attack on the Jedi's hidden temple on Tyvos in the year 138 ABY, Tirasah used the ancient art of battle meditation to direct their forces in the defense. While doing this, she was effectively unable to take part in the combat directly, so other Jedi were stationed around her to protect her. Slowly these Jedi were whittled down until it was just Nat, Rock Skywalker, and Cade Skywalker left with her. The group was successful in allowing others to escape. However, Tirasah and Rock were killed when a starfighter impacted the temple. Before their death, they were able to push Cade out of the way. The deaths of Nat and of Tirasah meant that Cade was the last remaining Skywalker that we know of, and Kruk was the last remaining Old Republic Jedi that we know of. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Order 66 survivors. There's a few other survivors who, while not quite as long-lived as these two, are probably worthy of some recognition. I have a few other similar topic ideas for videos, but please let me know in the comments who your favorite Order 66 survivors are. If you have any ideas for videos or suggestions for the channel, please leave them in the comments as well. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. In general channel news, we've hit the watch time threshold to be eligible for monetization, which means I can afford to spend more time developing content for the channel. As I've said before, I want to ramp up to 2 to 3 videos per week so I can continue to hammer down on the format. The more I'm able to practice with things like editing and even the writing and recording process, the better everything should get. I'd love to get up to a point where I can do a video every day on the channel, even if they're in slightly different kinds of content. So for example, Tapcaf Transmissions with Eckhart's Ladder, which is our podcast where we cover different Star Wars books, in addition to lore videos like this one, maybe some deeper dives on specific topics, and just general other stuff like that. So I hope you guys are looking forward to more regular content from the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Watch.